Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany Simon. We're doing Love is Blind UK Season 2, Episode 8. We do philosophy through pop culture and we're using real people's lives to learn more about our own. Let's see what happens.
To meet your family, so that's going to be fun.
How was last night?
It was good to be with everyone.
So who was there?
Everyone that was at the mix was there. Annie, Yolanda, Sophie, and then all the guys. Damola, Patrick, except on the couple side. It was only me, Kieran, and Megan.
Do you think that you could see that I was upset before you left?
Ooh, okay, so we're starting off the episode with the day after. Last episode, it showed her crying. She was upset. He went to the mixer with the people from the cast and she just asked him, like, could you tell I was upset when you left? Good question, interesting question. In my marriage, and this is what I recommend for most people, if you have a problem, solve it. Sometimes you need a break, sometimes you need space, but to ignore it, to give the silent treatment is not okay. And also, it's your job to, in my case, we say forward, we say, yellow, I'm actually kind of upset. Can I talk to you for a bit? Or we say, yellow, before you go out tonight, I really got to talk to you because we're having a problem and we got to solve it. Because if you leave now, then it's going to create more of a distance and that's unnecessary. And then your partner says, yeah, of course, let's sit down and talk about it before I go. Obviously, in their situation, it felt more like he was escaping and she was holding back. So right now, it's almost like a trick question. Did you know I was upset before you left last night? Versus she shouldn't even have to ask this question because she should have told him, hey, I'm upset. Now, I know you're thinking, well, why didn't he know she was upset? Your partner doesn't always know, but sometimes they can know. My partner's really good at noticing when I'm upset, even over little things like I didn't get the salad I wanted, or, oh, this piece of lettuce is more wilted than I would like in my meal, but you know, what are you gonna do? Or, oh, he noticed I oversalted my ramen. I don't know. My partner's very observant, but also not always able. And so sometimes I have to be like, hey, actually, I think I'm upset about this. In other words, we don't want to have to read our partner's minds, but we also don't want to pretend or neglect our partner by never paying attention, right? So I just don't like the way this conversation is starting off. It's not a good sign.
Not really. If he was, I'd wish he'd express it, but...
Ooh, see, he's just like, he's defensive. He's like very, you know, I didn't realize you were upset, but if you were, I wish you would have expressed it. This is the toxicity. This is similar to what my dating in my 20s was like. When I say I was like with partners where it felt like, did you not know that I was upset? But then there was a lot of like, even when I would communicate it, they'd be like, well, maybe you shouldn't be upset. You know, maybe this is your borderline. It was like very frustrating. It just wasn't wholesome. It wasn't good. It wasn't actually invested. This is what I see here. This is toxicity to me. This isn't what a healthy relationship looks like. I don't think healthy people have this type of dialogue with one another.
Again, that just goes back to like how I communicate versus how you communicate.
Which, to be fair, could be true, but also I don't much appreciate how he communicates. Like, a part of his communication is his body language, is the way he goes, well, I wish you had told me. You know what I mean? He's not any better at communicating, though in, you know, in the way that they look, you probably would say, oh, he's better at communicating. I find them to both be bad communicators.
Yeah, I was a bit upset last night.
He's upset?
Yeah.
About what?
I was just surprised that you went out, just because today is important to me and I didn't know if you're going to be hungover or like...
I look hungover to you.
Well, no, but I didn't know, so...
You don't trust me to not meet your parents hungover?
Well, I wouldn't want to meet your parents hungover.
Do you not trust me to not meet your parents hungover?
Well, I've never experienced you hungover, so I don't know what you're going to be like.
Because you know that I'm not stupid enough to do something like that, hopefully.
But it's a new situation.
Ooh, this is interesting. So he is upset that she would assume he would be hungover meeting her parents. She's upset he went out and risked being hungover to meet her parents. See how they're not discussing it as a team? Like, if you have a football team, and I know I'm gay in sports and I'm not in that bubble, but hear me out here. You have a football team. You don't go out blind. You usually know what everyone's doing, right? They are blind. They don't know what the other person is doing. He's assuming, hey, I've got this. You should trust me. She's saying, I actually don't know that. And I'm just learning you. I don't have that data to trust you. And he's thinking, well, if you don't trust me, then why are we getting married? And she's saying, well, how am I supposed to trust you? We just met. And he's like, isn't that the whole point of the experiment? Oh, there's so much here.
I didn't know what you were doing.
I wanted to see the guys, because I'm not going to see them again.
Yeah, he's acting like it's so obvious, like I went to see the guys, but he also didn't sit down, talk to her, check in with her. Hey, do you mind if I go see the guys? Is there anything I'm missing? And she could have said, oh, hey, actually, I'm meeting, you know, you're meeting my parents tomorrow. Do you mind not going out tonight? Or if you do go out tonight, can you just be like extra responsible? And he'd be like, yeah, for sure. You good if I go out? Because like, I am going to be responsible. I'll be back on time. I won't be hungover. And then she could have said, okay, yeah, go out, have fun. Now, if in that moment she said, no, I don't think you should go out, she would have to explain why. Why can't I go out? Like, I'm an adult. Why can't I go out? And she'd say, I don't think you are going to be responsible. Well, then we'd have a conversation about trust, because otherwise it wouldn't really be reasonable for her not to let him go out. Like sometimes when I ask my partner, hey, do you mind if I do this? I don't actually, like, I'm not actually asking him for permission. I'm saying, is there anything I haven't thought of that would make this a bad decision? Speak now or forever hold your peace, because I'm going to do it. And then he will say, yeah, actually, this is a good reason not to do this. And I will either agree or disagree. But he's not actually going to stop me from doing something I want to do unless it's dangerous or wrong. And then I would agree with him that it's dangerous or wrong. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? It's a team effort.
You have nothing to fear.
He said you have nothing to fear.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like reluctant, but she's trusting him. They're just not a team. They're not a team.
Like, I'm going to trust him until he gives me a reason not to trust him.
Yeah, I think it takes like a really specific kind of person, like a really specific level of healed to really just like let people be themselves. And like whatever happens, happens. Like, hey, if you're rude enough and evil enough to deceive me and lie to me and scam me, that's on you. That has nothing to do with me. But until then, I have no reason to not trust you because you're your own person. So let's see how this goes. I'll base my decision off data. Now, to be fair, they do have data that implies that they might not have a reason to trust each other. One, they haven't known each other very long. Two, they don't really like have a natural trust in one another. And three, their values seem to be a little bit not similar. So that could be reason enough not to trust. And of course, we all trust people with different things. So when we're talking about your forever person, you know, maybe there is data to say that she shouldn't trust him. It's just not meaning to say he's bad. Maybe it's like a kind of trust in the way that I don't trust even the good people in my life with all things. You know, it's a different kind of trust. Maybe she's hoping for that she's not seeing in Javin, but that's not because of him. It could just be because of them.
How are you feeling about tomorrow?
Not sure, you know, because I just don't get why your mum and your sisters aren't as excited as my family are. And
They obviously didn't sign up for this. I don't think that in their wildest dreams sort of expected me to turn around and be like, I'm about to get married, you haven't even met him. It couldn't have been any more further from what maybe their expectations were.
He's so emotionally stunted. What do you mean? I'm not surprised. Like, what do you mean? Like, he's like, I don't get why your family's not as excited as my family. Your family is being very gracious in their support of you, sir. I think it would be very reasonable for most of us to be like, hey, why are you marrying a dude you just met? Now, if they meet him and they're still cynical and or if time has gone by, but they haven't even talked to her, they haven't really met him, they haven't really done stuff. Like, even my family was super cynical at first. You know what I mean? Like, don't you want your family to be at least a little bit concerned instead of just supporting you blindly? Like, I don't know. I don't want blind support from people. I want you to be a person who at least questions me a little bit. So I have someone to bounce off of, right? Like kind of like Kieran and his friends, like, hey, at least check in with me. But then once I reassure you, don't keep questioning me, right? So it's weird that Cal can't understand why her family is still not ready to accept it. Like, they haven't even met him yet.
My mum at the moment is sending me quite a few messages.
Now, if her mom is sending her like novels, which she kind of implied in another edit, if her mother is like attacking her, then that might be just like an issue with the mom. But if she's just like a normal concerned, I don't think that's that weird. But if she's like, you know what I mean? If she's like inappropriately messaging, then that's a different conversation. Also, her makeup is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Until she meets Cal, she's not going to be able to trust someone she hasn't met yet.
Isn't that normal? Isn't that like, you know, give or take? Obviously, my parents haven't met my partner, but they don't have to trust him. They trust me. So that's the other part of it. The people in my family who haven't had a chance to meet my partner, they don't have to trust him. They have to trust me to have made a good decision, which they do. So they support my marriage. I guess Cal, from that perspective, is wondering, why aren't you trusting Sarover to make this decision? But, you know, everyone works differently. So I'm neither supportive of the mother's, you know, hesitancy or Cal's frustration. I'm just pointing out that obviously, like, it makes sense that this might happen, right? And then that begs the question, is Cal going to understand and support Sarover in situations like this? Because, like, life's going to get harder than just parents being hesitant over this weird marriage. Like, if this is enough to rock him, wait until real life happens. What happens if they have a kid and one of them dies? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to have to be prepared for tougher situations than just mothers being cynical.
That could actually be
God.
them now.
literally,
Yeah, there's been a few messages.
that's a lot.
Yeah, there is an implication that there's way too many messages, which I would find increasingly frustrating. So maybe I can't understand Cal's frustration in that sense.
I'm a little bit nervous to meet Sarova's family, in particular her mum, because of the way she's been communicating with Sarova.
There you go. Okay, that's something there.
Guess doubting our relationship a little bit.
Oh, he's doubting his relationship. Interesting. He's doubting.
I've got Soro's approval. Shouldn't that be enough?
If I have Sorover's approval, shouldn't that be enough? Yes, of course. But humans are humans and they have emotions and they have hesitations around unions. And yes, it should be enough, of course. But, you know, it's just people are going to people. It's what you have to deal with. But yes, ultimately, it should be enough.
Hopefully they're on board. Because I want them on board. I want,
Yeah.
Of course, I want your mum's blessing. I want them to be at the wedding.
Yeah, of course.
But I just don't want her to bend over backwards to get them there.
Yeah, of course. Like he should just be himself. You know, he shouldn't have to perform or something like that.
This is the ultimate function in an Indian family, a wedding. So with that really does come all of this, and you are getting the
Yeah, so maybe it's like the family dynamic differences. I don't think Sorover's parents are in a racial relationship, but his parents are. So maybe he has more of just a different cultural perspective. So it might feel very frustrating. Like there's the difference between being like, you know, like in my relationship, my family is important, but ultimately, like, we have final say. I don't know if in Sorover's family, like, the family normally has final say. So this might be a cultural clash, which, funny enough, this couple was worried about.
Indian girl comes family, and with family comes drama. With drama comes a lot more. So
Yeah, so he has to decide, is he willing to be married to somebody who's involved in family drama? And how is that going to work for him? This is something you should talk about on your first dates, actually, or, you know, 5th date, 7th date, 10th date, whatever. How involved in our family are we going to be? I talk to my partner about it all the time. What if my sibling needs a couch to sleep on? Do we offer our home? What if somebody dies and their kids are orphaned? Do we take in the kids? Like, these are very important questions you have to ask yourself.
Excited to meet Billy's mum and sister today. He's talked so much about them, so I hope they like me.
So she's already met the dad, and that went pretty okay. You know, now she's meeting the mom and the sister.
Experiment was perfect for Billy. He's let his guard down, but I think you're very confident and strong, and that is what he needs.
Oh, the mom says this experiment was pretty good for her son, and I think that's interesting. Yeah, okay.
it makes me so happy.
Love Ashley already. Seems a very lovely person.
I knew you would love her and she would love you.
How are you feeling about it all? Actually getting married again?
So if I'm completely honest, Cassie, deep down I'm scared. The job it's a hurdle.
Ooh, okay. He's being vulnerable and open. He says he's scared. He said the job is still a hurdle, which is fair.
She'll go away for 3 to 4 days and then she could be back for maybe sometimes 2 days.
Wow.
And I don't want a marriage where we live in separate lives.
Same girl.
something-
Same girl. It's hard. Yeah, he should be concerned, but I think they have to think long term. When are you going to quit this job? What's your life going to look like? I couldn't date somebody who was gone 4 days a week. That would hurt my feelings.
I'm at a point where I want stability in my life. And with being cabin crew, you're not always promised that.
Yeah, I think this is really important. Such a vital conversation. I back his worry. I back his concern. I want Ashley to reassure him that she's really going to consider a different job and what that's going to look like. But then I want her to really consider if this is the right person to change her life around in that aspect. I had a friend once who was going to quit her lifelong dream career for a possibility of a partner. And he ended up dumping her before that, thank goodness, because like imagine if she had quit her long life dream for this man. But that's why I say like my job, but not at the expense of my relationship not at the expense of my job. Like this is my dream job. And if my partner was like, you need to quit your dream job to be with me, it would bring into question the relationship, not the job. Because you signed up for this job. You met me when I had this job. I never promised you I wouldn't have this job. I told you this is my lifelong job. Versus Ashley did say she was open to a job change, which I feel like now she has to be very honest with Billy. Are you getting a different job? Because you made it sound like you were open to that, but it's not just open. You have to do it. And it has to be something you wanted to do for you, separate from Billy. But if this cabin crew thing is like a dream job, then Billy can't be her partner. I really believe like your dream job, if you are going to regret quitting it, you can't quit it for a partner.
Deserve to be happy.
Yeah, we both do.
And I can't wait now for the wedding.
Let's have a cuddle. Oh.
Okay, so now Javin is meeting Katisha's family, and she said, when you marry me, you're not just marrying me, you're marrying my whole family. I think that is true, but I think you should be careful once again about what that means in relationship to you as a couple, because my family, they better not make me choose between my partner or them. And same with my partner. Don't make me choose between my family and you. The priority, once again, is always my marriage over my family, but don't make me pick.
I've never gotten involved in her relationships before, but she's never been engaged before. So how long have you been looking for someone?
Oof, I would say maybe over the last 2 to 3 years.
What I want you to do is look at how my man treats me. And that is because she is looking for somebody who treats her like he treats me.
How would you say he treats you?
I'm his queen. She needs to be yours.
Katisha's mom gives a bit neurodivergent vibes. I like her. She's got chill energy. She says, I want you to treat Katisha the way my man treats me, like a princess, like a queen. It's not my favorite language in my bubble because I don't believe in royalty language, but in their bubble, it seems to indicate just like treat her like she is as important as you. Like she is somebody you treat with dignity, right?
I want her to be happy.
Of course.
That's actually all I care about. And so if you make her happy, then welcome to the family, my darling.
I like her. I like her so much. Okay, that was pretty straightforward. If you make her happy, I approve, but like make her happy. One thing she asked him that I thought was interesting is how long have you been looking for a partner? And he said 2 to 3 years, but I don't know if that's true that he's actually been looking for an actual like marriage partner. Like if somebody asked me in my 20s, like how long have you been looking to get married? I wouldn't know how to answer that question. I wouldn't say that I was looking to get married. I was open to getting married. Like I wanted to get married because I wanted to find someone to fall in love with. But in my 30s, when I turned 30, if somebody had asked me, how long have you been looking for a partner? I would have been able to say, oh, when I turned 30 and a half, 31, I started seriously thinking about courting. I actually didn't start dating until, when did I start dating again after my relationship? I guess when I was 30, I don't remember, 32 maybe actually. I think I started going on dates. I think I did wait quite a time actually. Hold on. Now that I think about it, I don't think I actually, because I was 3 years single between the relationship ending and being with my partner. But I really waited like probably a year before I really started dating again, at least. And then I went on only first dates on the computer, basically. And then one physical date. And then eventually found my partner, which we also met online. So, yeah, not that you need a certain span of time. But it's just interesting to hear him say like, oh, I've been dating 2 to 3 years. But like, do you mean intentionally? Because that feels different to me. I don't know if I believe him, but maybe. Here we go. I'm gonna laugh if he expects to be grilled by the mom because of all those text messages, but then she doesn't. You know, what if she's like chill as fuck or something?
And I don't know which way it's going to go, and that's a little unsettling. I'm sure you have a lot of questions and like to answer anything. And I know you're a bit skeptical at me because obviously we've never met.
Can I ask them what's so different and unique about Sarova that made you choose my daughter?
That's a really hard question to answer. I don't think you can answer that question. I think it's an impossible. My partner and I have had tried to answer this question 1,000 times. Like, why did we pick each other? Obviously, logically, we have similar values. And we're attracted to each other. But it does feel like there's this like impossible way to communicate that you just know. We talk a lot about high compatibility partners on this channel. And I always say there's 2 things, the resume values and then the connectivity in terms of like liking the person, physically being attracted to them and or matching on intimacy levels. But what if there's a third thing? You just know. I can't explain it to you because everything I could say feels so superficial. I really like him. I'm attracted to them. We have a good relationship with our beliefs. We see the world the same way. Like everything I could say about my partner, I could probably say about somebody else. But the truth is there's also that something else, that thing that just makes me really like in this consciousness. Like I feel so fulfilled in the union. It feels so different. So it's a hard question is, you know, what about this person makes them that person? Yeah, it's like all of the obvious stuff plus. And I feel like sometimes with 2 really good people, you have all the obvious stuff, but not the plus. And that's what confuses people. Like, if we're so good together, we're so compatible, why don't we match? Why aren't you my person? I think because they don't have and the plus, you know?
I've never dated a Southern girl before.
Yo, her family is attractive. Her family is so pretty.
I'm going to be honest, I like the posh Southern accent.
Yeah.
Something new and exciting for me, and then, so, yeah.
Cal! Oh, that's such a bad answer. Oh, this better be edited. Oh, he must be nervous because that is a horrible answer. I like that she's posh. Bro! Oh, I hope he's just nervous.
Quite similar, both into fitness.
Oh, this gotta be edited. That was so superficial. We're both into fitness and she's posh. Nah. This has got to be edited. Come on.
But getting married. And it's massive, the commitment. Are you 100% ready?
As ready as anyone could be. Obviously, I want to settle down, want kids, family, all that, hopefully, with this beautiful lady who's your daughter. Good book, by the way.
It's gotta be edited. It's gotta be edited. Come on now. Oh, I'm uncomfortable, but I kind of feel bad for Cal because I'm like, but at the same time, like, you know, Netflix could be editing this and that's what's fucking with me.
And yeah, just...
No, this is an edit. Come on now. Come on, Netflix.
I don't know. Can't wait for the wedding now.
Is she crying? She looks like she's crying. Wait, no, I'm freaking out now.
Lucky guy.
Yeah.
The reveal day outfit was like an Indian style jacket. I brought it for a reveal having
Yeah. No, this is edited as fuck because now she's smiling and giddy and excited. And then before she was like crying. Nah, fuck you, Netflix. This is edited as fuck.
no idea who I was going to propose to. All I thought I was going to propose to anyone.
Yeah.
No, fuck Netflix. I hate them so much for editing it this way. This is not how this scene happened. I really hate it. I hate it so much. YouTube streamers are better. We don't have to edit shit. It just happens all in real life. This is why people watch streamers. Because we don't edit. It's happening live. This is bullshit.
The universe does work in mysterious ways sometimes.
That is surreal.
What a bullshit edit. What a fucking bullshit edit. I'm pissed. I want my money back. That was a bullshit edit.
How are you actually feeling about getting married?
It's a process. We're working on it. Communication is probably not our strong point. Obviously, you know about my past relationships. I'm not always forthcoming with what I have to say, like, because I'm scared of reactions, and I know that is something that I need to work on. And I feel like he's holding back a lot, so that's where the difficulties are, because I'm struggling.
Damn. Okay, Katisha's telling your mom, just like, my past relationships weren't great. I hold back, he holds back, and that our communication is fucked.
Some of the boys that she has been with before, I've maybe thought, okay. And relationships that she's had have affected the way that she deals with things now. But communication is very important. Makes me think, is she doing the right thing?
Exactly. Tell her, mama. Tell her, say no.
I wanted you to go into this experiment with your eyes open.
Yeah.
It never hurts to let them remember, the prize they won.
Ugh, I hate this language. I don't think it helps deconstruct patriarchy by claiming women are prizes to be won. If women are prizes to be won, then who are the people to win the objects? And I think we need to deconstruct this narrative that somebody is someone's queen or someone's prize, because we're not objects to be won. We're people to form relationships with. And so how can we ask people to treat us with dignity if we're just a prize to put on a shelf? I don't like it. I think it's patriarchal language.
How have you felt about the process of it all?
It's all happened very quickly.
Yeah.
Usually we get to meet your journey.
Yeah.
Like, the first time you come home and say, like, oh, I just went on a date with this person.
Yeah.
I did obviously get overwhelmed with the communication from you, especially mum, to be fair.
I'm a mum.
I get that, but I would expect you to trust me.
Okay, good job, Sorover. Stand up for yourself. Good job.
Do you not trust me? That's what it was almost coming across like. This is real. This is us. We are doing this.
Okay, damn. She's like, we are doing this, mom. Okay.
This is real. You just have to trust us and trust the process.
I hope it's real. I can't tell from the edit. We're 8 episodes in, and I really don't know how compatible they really are. But, they look good together. So there's that.
Hal and I would definitely want my family's approval, but I'm putting my relationship with him first.
Yeah, ultimately, if it's the right person, then sometimes your family's just wrong. Sometimes when it's the wrong person, your family's right. And the question is, do you trust yourself enough to make that decision? Because at the end of the day, you have to be the one who makes this decision. So you have to trust yourself enough to pick the right partner, which is hard.
Been getting on really well. I think we're quite similar, to be honest.
Oh, 100%.
It's both like our own space, but enjoy each other's company as well, and close with family.
Okay, so the edit's now letting them stand up for themselves. He's saying, like, we're very similar.
I felt like I'd spoken about things with you that I'd never spoken out of anyone previously before.
Okay.
So easy to be around you. And I feel there's also no
And look, the mom's melting. She's looking warmer. Okay.
scientific formula for a successful marriage. Anyone who gets married is taking a leap of faith in some way. And people who date for a long time, there's no guarantee of a lasting marriage. And
Exactly, because people are settling in their long-term relationships. I know. I was in one of my 20s. And the further I get from that past relationship and all my past relationships, like now some of them are 12, 15 years ago, right? Like you get so far from them, you realize like, okay, here are all the mistakes I made in those relationships, and you try not to repeat them in this relationship. But the part of the not repeating comes from being a different person because you've grown and changed. But if you hadn't learned the lessons from the past relationships, you will bring them into the present one.
I guess in that way, we've got as good a chance as anyone. And the foundations are definitely there. And if there wasn't, I wouldn't be here now.
Okay, interesting. I really wonder how aligned they are in terms of values.
He's a bit of an underthinker, I'm a bit of an overthinker. It balances out so well.
It complements you.
Yeah. Even though it is early stage, we do support each other, and he knows I've got her back, and I know she's got my back.
You seem very confident in how you're talking and what you see in Sarova and that connection. And honestly, for me, it's massive.
Okay, seems like she's on board.
That gives me so much reassurance.
We're so relieved.
Very solid. Yeah, he's impressed me. I'm very surprised how well it's gone. They're very surprised.
He's also very handsome. I'm telling you right now, pretty privilege is playing a role here. The mother is relieved he's this handsome. I'm telling you, I just know it's true. When you see someone and they're put together and they look organized and they look good, you're like, okay, this person looks good. Not that looks can't be deceiving, but...
Your hands, guys. Yeah, you have this.
Oh, she gave them the blessing. Yay.
I honestly cannot be any more happier right now. It feels absolutely perfect having my family on board.
I don't know what you're so worried about.
I mean, any marriage is a leap of faith, but it's weeks rather than months. Ugh.
Some hesitancy within reason. We're with Jed and Barda now.
The only thing I'd say about that is this is so intense that it's so full on.
Yeah, it does force you to be in situations that could potentially take years.
Have you had any rows yet?
No.
That's not normal.
So she says, like, you haven't had like a fight yet. This is Jed's parents. I'm gonna be real with you. Like I said, during my courtship, we didn't have fights. We had struggles outside the engagement that challenged the engagement. We had external things that happened that gave us a challenge during our union, during our engagement period, to reassure us that we were making the right decision together, that we could face problems head on together. And so I agree with the mom that it would be nice to make sure that you can handle challenges. This is one of those challenges, right? Which we just saw with Sarover and Cal. They handled it together, went in together. It's not that you won't have tense conversations. It's not that marriage or my partner and I don't have moments of like, you know, we're experiencing the stress of the world. It's just that we don't turn on each other. So I would say that it's probably a good sign they haven't had a fight with each other. It's probably also a good sign that they've tackled a problem external to themselves with each other so they can help each other. Even my chronic illness, I consider external to myself, right? Like if I say my partner and I had struggles and it was relation to my chronic illness, it's not in relation to me. It's in relation to an illness we're tackling together. So again, it's how we use these words, but you know.
I'm not really an argumentative person. I'm quite laid back. I probably wouldn't let it get to an argument.
Exactly. I probably wouldn't let it get to an argument. Exactly. Like even, I wouldn't say I'm chill when things are good, but I also like, I'm very Taurus energy. But even when my partner and I are having like conversations that are uncomfortable or we reach a new situation together, again, it's never at each other. I've never one time during any of our stressful, having a stressful moment, doubted my relationship. I never, versus in all my other relationships, I doubted right away. In my past relationships, the moment something went wrong, I was like, oh my God, is this even my person? In this relationship, nothing like that ever happens. I never doubt my marriage. I acknowledge that life can get stressful. We're dealing with immigration. My family's not here. I'm in a new country. There's a lot of reasons. My job is stressful. There's a lot of reasons to be stressed. But in all of our stressful moments, we never look at each other and think, you're the reason. Or I never think like, oh, who did I marry? I never think like, oh, did I marry the right person? I just think, I just take the problem for what it is and we solve it together, right? So I don't like that the mother is insinuating it's not normal for them to have never fought. And I like Barda's response just to say like, it's not who I am. Because like, yeah, some of us, it's not who we are. Like, I don't want to fight with my partner.
What worries me is sometimes in a new relationship where everything's rosy.
I agree with this. I agree that in the beginning it can be rosy. So I would say that the question is, does Barda and Jed know themselves well enough to understand the difference between I'm excited because this is new and this is my person?
A few months down the line, it's not when people split up.
Don't take getting married lightly. It is a lifelong decision. My parents are also still together.
Are you 100% sure? Really happy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not caught up in the excitement of it all?
Yeah, see, it's okay for them to be worried, right?
The wedding's the beginning, it's not the end of it.
I love that. The wedding's the beginning, it's not the end of it. I think a lot of people get into bad marriages because they think like the wedding is sort of like the end of it, like, oh, I did it. And then they kind of give up on their life. But the wedding is just the start. Like, it's just the start to our life, our long life together.
And the rest is hard work.
It is. Like, I do think building a life with someone, like my marriage is easy, but life is hard. My marriage is easy, but my life is hard. So of course, everything takes hard work. My job takes hard work. Working out takes hard work. Being healthy takes hard work. Our marriage takes hard work, but it's good work. It's dignified work, right? I think that's the difference. Marriages that are undignified are hard work. In a bad way, it's unwise suffering. There is wise suffering here. There's a wisdom to this union. Is there wisdom in your union? That's the question.
I think it's normal for my mum to have questions about how fast-paced this process is. Any normal person would, but I feel like I get a lot of love from Barda. The love's there, the affection's there, and it's kind of everything that I've wanted.
All right, let's go ahead and end it there. I am rooting for them as a couple, but you never know. The show can always twist at the end. I'll see you for the next one. Thank you for watching, subscribing, liking, sharing, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.